For those that don't know, I'm making it official that this week is official on Langston 2092's channel. It's official that this week is Atlanta week. Yay! Now, what are we going to do on Atlanta week, you may ask? This whole week, we're going to talk about, or should I say, we're going to make videos about Atlanta. That's it! Atlanta videos. You get Atlanta video. You get Atlanta video. You get Atlanta video. You get Atlanta video. Everybody gets Atlanta videos this week. Yay! Nah, but serious, this is my word. I know I messed up. Monday, I think I did a Charlotte video, but I think for the rest of the week, you know what I'm saying, I was pretty, straight with the Atlanta videos. Now, I didn't do an Atlanta video every day, but I think I did about 2 or 3 or something like that, and this is like the 4th one, the 4th installment. Oh, man. So, I want to let y'all know, give y'all a head notice that, and some of y'all know, you already know that have been looking at the channel, you all know that, I wasn't planning on staying in Charlotte for long. You know what I'm saying? I've been here for a couple years, and I have enjoyed living in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? I like the people. I like the city. But, it's time for me to move. It's time for me to relocate. And what better place to relocate than to move back to Atlanta? And I know it's shocking to you all. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done videos about Atlanta. You all know just how much I don't like Atlanta. But I gotta admit it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a great paying job down there. And in order to, live, in order to, breathe air, I'm dead serious though. Yeah, I mean, you need money. You need money. And Atlanta's got a nice paying job down there. Just as long as I don't get what? Caught. Straight up. If you're into, the crime world, you can do pretty good down there in Atlanta. Just don't get caught. That's real talk, seriously. No lie. I mean, the laws are catered towards you all. You know what I'm saying? You could do pretty good down there. And what I mean by the laws are catered towards you all is it's like, yo, seriously, here in the South, I'm not even lying. Charlotte has this problem too. We have a problem with letting go of our criminals. Straight up. That's here in Atlanta. So, as long as you don't get caught and do any type of mandatory time, you're good. Now, if you get caught and you can bail yourself out, you're even straighter than straight. But if you get caught and you can't bail yourself out, you messed up. Why? Because, you didn't know, you didn't hear, you don't have your ear to the streets. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, well, in Atlanta, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. An Atlanta citizen that was locked up for misdemeanor battery and assault or something like that, something like really minor, died in the Fulton County Jail because bed bugs ate him alive. Not making this up. You have a good career down there in good old Atlanta as a criminal, as long as you don't get caught and have to, do mandatory time. Other than that, if you have the bail money, you're good. You can get back out and get back to work. Straight up. That's real talk. That's real talk. I'm not even making this up. I'm you know, some of you all are probably waiting for me to smile and laugh and all the rest of that stuff. I'm not making this up. I'm not laughing. I'm not embellishing on the truth. I am being straight real with you all. Like, how many videos do I have to do on Atlanta? And I think I've covered every topic that you could think of, with the exception of just being an professional criminal. Now I got to make a video for you professional criminals out there. That there's work down there as long as you don't get caught. Because if you get caught and you got to go to the Fulton County Jail located in Atlanta. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Decatur. I may be wrong though. If not, I mean, they have several. If you got to go to any of the jails in Atlanta, as well as Cobb County, you can it. It's a wrap. It's word on the streets. Bed bugs are eating the cellmates alive. I can't make this up. I can't. And what I'm about to say, I can't make this up either. I know good and goddamn well that this video probably won't even deter some of the black folks that really haven't made up in their mind that they're moving to Atlanta. And for those that really want to know, I'm really being sarcastic. I really am. When it comes to being a professional criminal, I am. But that's just how it is down there. You would think that people, you know, down there just want to be professional criminals. And these professional criminals, when they commit the illegal act that gets them locked up, guess what? They get out the next day. The next day. And if they don't get out the next day, I'm telling you, for real, jails or prisons such as Fulton County, I think it's a jail, Fulton County Jail, they're mistreating their inmates. I hate to say this, but I can. What do y'all want me to do? I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I was living in Atlanta, that was another problem. The homelessness, the list goes on, the lack of jobs, the scarcity of jobs. The other problem, which was the HIV cases, the high rates in HIV cases. And then also the prisons. The prisons are full, and if they're not full, they're being mistreated. The prisoners, that is. That's a problem down there in good old Atlanta. And I'm just trying to understand, how many more videos did I have to do? How much do I have to cover when it comes to Atlanta? That'll make you, at least for those that are considering moving to Atlanta, that'll at least make you think, like, hold on, man, maybe this dude is up to something. Like, he is one of the content creators or YouTubers that really, you know what I'm saying, has dove in to Atlanta and has covered just about any and everything about Atlanta. Straight up. And for someone such as myself that has covered just about Not everything about Atlanta, but just about Atlanta. I've came to the conclusion that, you know what, Atlanta, it's not a black city. It isn't. I mean, it's a black city by default. You know, it has the largest population of black people in any city other than Houston. I think Houston has Atlanta beat, if I'm not mistaken. But Atlanta has the largest population, if I'm not mistaken, of black people in the United States. But that's it. It's just by default that it's a black city. Other than that, it doesn't cater towards black people. It doesn't treat Atlanta, the city, doesn't treat black people good. Black people have gone through a great deal of hardship when it comes to, Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, let alone the state. You got to realize one thing. This is the South. This is the South. And I'm telling you, this is my word. I've lived in North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. And I've been around trees that are old enough to have hung some of my ancestors. So I know exactly where I'm at as far as dealing with the South. It seems as though that people don't, specifically black people, don't know where they're at when dealing with the South. Straight up. And that in Atlanta, that's the only thing that's black about Georgia is Atlanta. The rest of the state is not black. The rest of the state is really rural. It's country. The only city life that you get is really in Atlanta. This is the reason why it's kind of confusing to people that haven't visited or, lived in Atlanta. When I say something like this, Atlanta has classism, and then the outskirts are Metro Atlanta, which is the majority of non-blacks, which majority of non-blacks live in, the rural areas of Georgia. Metro Atlanta, places like Forsyth County, Alpharetta, and the list goes on. It's racist. You just got to understand that. You got to understand just how the city is situated and how, on a racial level, how things are. This is real talk. All of the blacks, just really, majority of the blacks live in South Fulton County. They live in like College Park, Decatur, Union City, stuff like that. When you go further up North Fulton County, like Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Alpharetta, and the list goes on, that's where all the non-blacks live. So the city is, I'll just say the area at the most is very much divided. Very much divided. And the city of Atlanta as a whole is divided. Like I said, it's classism. So you have rich people that live in Atlanta, and then you have the poor, and that's it. That's what it boils down to. There's no middle class. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call it the middle class, you can call it the middle class. I'll call it people. I won't call it middle class the middle class. I'll call it people trying to keep up with the Joneses, and also known as people living from paycheck to paycheck. That's what I call middle class people, at least black people, that is. But it's just crazy to me. It's crazy that no one's safe down in Atlanta. If you go to jail and you're doing some time and you're going to be in Fulton County jail, you best believe it may be a possibility that you may get You better not go to sleep. You better not go to sleep. You better get someone to suck all of the melatonin out of your body before you go to jail to make sure that you don't doze off. That plain and simple. Because if you doze off and you fall asleep, you might fall asleep forever. And this is crazy. I did a video about a trans woman being shot and killed on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. And I'm not trying to be funny, May. that individual rest in peace, but it's embarrassing. How do you get shot and killed on a street where the man is named after, he meant peace. He meant equality for everyone. And you get shot and killed on the street. That's the same thing with this jail thing. You go to jail, and let's say, for example, your cousin got ate alive by some bed bugs. What kind of street cred is that? My cousin, he just got, he died in jail. Well, what do you got? He got stabbed up? He shanked up or something? Nah, bed bugs got him. What? A human's a human regardless. And I understand that, people do bad things. And they definitely need to be punished. But it's to the point where it's like, it's a thin line between punishment and torture. And what I saw, they showed, literally, they showed the body of this inmate. The coroner, the examiner, didn't want to examine the body. That's how bad it was. His body was riddled with bug bites. This is ridiculous. But this is not the first time. The inmates were complaining that they weren't getting fed. They weren't being fed one year. You know what I'm saying? One of the Cobb County jails, they keep the lights on straight 24/7. Could you imagine that? So the inmates, I can't even go to sleep with the light. There's a thing called circadian rhythm. And if you keep the lights on, it disturbs your sleeping patterns. Because your body is like thinking it's okay, it's light out. So it's staying up. You can't even go into a deep sleep. So you have these inmates suffering from sleep deprivation. That's an illness. Like, people don't realize just how important sleep is. I remember Steve Harvey said, if you want to be successful, rich and successful, rich people don't get nothing but 4 hours of sleep. Man, bullshit. You gonna tell that lie? Successful people that are successful, I'll put my name on the line for this one. People that are successful, if they were to do what is it? I don't know. Just do some type of research or something like that. A census or something. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I bet you the majority of rich and successful people get anywhere between 6 to 9 hours of sleep. Your body needs at least 6 to 9 hours of sleep. When you get in 4.5, 5 hours, body's not gonna function properly. So inmates are humans too, man. Inmates are humans too. So let me just go down the line. You can't be a transsexual. Why? Because they're down there killing. Atlanta is down there killing transsexual men. You can't be an inmate. Why? Because good in Atlanta, if you go to jail, you don't have to worry about somebody shanking you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody carving a knife out of a plastic fork. You have to worry about none of that. Just gotta worry about the bed bugs. It's gotten to the point where, man, seriously, and then I'm done. This is my word. How are you gonna call Atlanta Black City where it doesn't cater towards black people? It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Stop it. Let's just really do the science on this. Let's take away all of the entertainment. Let's take away the strip clubs, the hookah lounges. Let's take away all of that stuff. And I'm gonna be real with you. The civil rights movement, let's take away that stuff too. Cause I really wasn't too fond of the nonviolent marches. And now knowing, like, I just found this out years ago that, you know what I'm saying, Bayard Rustin, which was, you know, gay, was behind it. And I don't understand it. You're just leading, you led, I don't care who you are. You can be Dr. Martin Luther King, I don't care. You led a group of people, a race of people, into a crowd that was sicking dogs on them, throwing bricks, bottles, broken bottles, and sticks on. Like, come on, man. I'm just being real. Like, take away all of that stuff. What does Atlanta have to offer the black people, man? Please, tell me. Tell me. Because when I look at Atlanta's history, it's horrible when it comes to black people. Majority of black people were not free when Atlanta, you know, when they first established Atlanta. There were quite a few black folks that were erroneously called slaves. We're not Slavics or Slavs. Kidnapped. They were kidnapped and brought to Atlanta. So that's the first thing. There hardly weren't any. There were free men, but there were more people, black men and women and children that were kidnapped than there were free men. And then also on top of that, man, Atlanta, man, you know how many stories I can give you of Atlanta's past and how they treated, you know what I'm saying, the people, black people of Atlanta. And I know some of you all are gonna say, like, if I bring up Lake Lanier, you're gonna say that's not Atlanta. Okay, cool. But that is your drinking water. You do get your drinking water from Lake Lanier. And if you didn't, it once was. And then also on top of that, that's everybody's favorite, you know, vacay in the state of Georgia. Everybody talks about Lake Lanier. And it's crazy that everybody talks about Lake Lanier knowing about his past. That, as I'm talking to you right now, there's a neighborhood buried under water, under Lake Lanier. A black neighborhood, that is. And every year, and they claim that the lake is cursed. Because of that, they let go of the dam years ago and literally drowned that black neighborhood along with some black people in it. So every summer, people go to Lake Lanier, and at least, I'm not lying, every year at least 5 to 8 people die. Because it's literally like a whole bunch of shit down there. And they tell you not to swim in the water. They tell you not to ski and water ski. They tell you not to do all of this stuff, and they still do it, and people end up dying. Shall I go on? What about when I was living there, when they killed that 3 police officers? I'm pretty sure one of them was black, if not 2 or 3, because the majority of the force is black. 3 police officers shot and killed a 90-year-old black woman. Shot and killed her in her own home. And guess what? At the end of the day, they had the wrong address. I could give you mad stories. Mad stories, man. Mad stories of Atlanta. And the only point that I want to make to you is that this journey, this change and the growth and everything that you see, you know what I'm saying, in Atlanta, that can, you know what I'm saying, mold you in the most positive way. All of that positivity, growth, change, all of that doesn't require you to move to Atlanta. What it requires you to do is to journey more within you. The journey is within. That's what your life's purpose is. You're not going to be satisfied until you get to know you and live out your life's purpose.